Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. It is Matty Carl, and this opening is just so we can take the time to get some people into the chat and start having a discussion. I apologize. First off, I'm not rotating my device, YouTube. Fuck you. Fuck you, YouTube. I'm not rotating to my device. I don't need to go and be live in something else. I want this kind of view. I don't know why. What is going on? What is happening? It says rotate device. I don't want to rotate my device. I don't understand. Why can't I have the regular device the regular way? I don't understand. Anyways, let's just go ahead. I'll just go with this. It's stupid either way. So, due to my being away from my actual PC and unable to, what is up, guys? I'm going to get through this intro, and then we'll talk about the division in just a second. Hey, Sean, how's it going? So due to my being away from the actual PC and unable to play the division, or any game for that matter, I thought I would just go ahead and have a live discussion with you guys about the division. So why now? Well, if you guys aren't on Twitter, Marco Styles posted on Twitter the one, basically saying that there needs to be more generosity with the classified gear set availability. Now, I don't think increasing the availability of it is the right thing to do, but I don't disagree with him. Yes, there's a whole shitstorm about the PTS that I'm going to cover as well. There's so many things going wrong. I can't understand how Massive is staying in business at this point, but there needs to be a 100% bona fide way of getting classies. That's what they're called. Hey, what's up, Agent Fishy? How you doing? This bullshit of a Lucky Chance and Matt Shotchef for fucking towing the company bullshit line. Matt, you hear me? You hear what I'm saying? Because I'm in your corner, Matt. I think you're an awesome CM, but I think that you're towing the company line and just kind of saving your job for that. You need to, kind of get back behind the community, because we're behind you. We think you do an awesome job. And I think it's bullshit that you think that we should have to fucking piss our life away to get classified gear set. It's not something that we need to go ahead and work hard for. And you're towing that company line is bullshit. 100%. What's up, JDM? And I think that, you understand the algorithm that they're going with. And I understand that you're not out in massive land in Sweden and stuff, so you don't have a huge control over what I'm talking about. But, yes, they did say they would remove the blue drop chance. Screw that shit. Who cares about the blue drop chance? Who the fuck cares about that shit? There shouldn't be a chance for anything but classified in those. What's up, Timothy? How you doing? And so why? Here's the question: why should I play a game that is going to only give me a small percentage, like a Barrett's chess piece percentage, for the best gear in the game? Should I put hundreds of hours in, like poor Mr. Andrew Kapler? What up, Andrew Kapler? What's up, fucker? Hey, what's up, Christopher Goodman? How you doing, buddy? Why would I need to put in hundreds of hours? Andrew Kapler, sub here, put in at minimum, like, I have no idea, but it was over, like he said, it was over like 2,500 runs before he finally got a chess piece. That is bullshit that they want to go ahead and reduce that stuff. Or, I would, dude, if I ever got anything beside a classified or a mint green out of a classified the Outbreak gear set, I would be absolutely fucking pissed. I would be so livid. It would be ridiculous. Why should I be out there busting my balls playing a game and supporting a company that only wants to give me a 0.01% chance of doing that? Hell no. Only a few people are going to grind the shit out of that. And kudos to you guys, because that's what they're doing. That is what they're doing. Yeah, if you can't get one in 10 to 12 hours of play, that is correct. And Matt has gone on the record and said you're only going to, out of all the people that are playing, get 2 to 3 pieces per week. So why the fuck should I grind my ass off to get those 2 to 3 pieces? Just figure out how long it would take to buy 2 to 3 pieces and make those 2 to 3 pieces a gear set each week. Make it so that you control what people are getting. My beard is seriously out of control now that I'm watching myself. It is out of control. I understand why Nightmare makes fun of me, But in all honesty, who is this going to benefit other than the people? You know, there's going to be, what's up, Brett? How you doing, buddy? Miss you guys, man. I'm suffering through withdrawals from game playing. Like I opened up my Mac and I'm like, dude, I need to play some Rocket League or some shit. But I heard it plays like shit on there. Anyways, back to this. You know, this is the type of stupidity of why glitches and exploits get found. If we want to bring back the community that goes out and finds these glitches and exploits, this is how we do it. You know, making it look, Falcons Lost brought back a huge Falcons Lost was the main reason. Nobody wanted to play through shitty 12 levels and die on that last level to get a chance at, and we at least knew the small pool of what the chess pieces were, or what the pieces were that we were getting. We knew what the pool was, but guess what? People didn't want to spend 2 hours to get one piece of gear. What makes you think that people are going to grind forever at a 0.01% chance? I read through thread after thread after thread, especially if you're on Twitter, go to Marco Styles thread. I guarantee it. You will see all of the people who are like, this is some bullshit. I've opened up hundreds of classified gear sets and got nothing but yellow drops. And that is just, it's mind-boggling to me that there's not a higher drop rate. And yes, I guarantee, you know, it shouldn't be a percentage chance. There shouldn't be luck involved in this bullshit. Like that is what, yeah, nobody's gonna grind that much. Nobody. People are gonna leave. Destiny comes out in less than like a month, or well, not a little bit more than a month. And people are just going to go over. Whether you like Destiny or not, it's a looter shooter, and people are going to go over to that. Why? Because it's new. It's a new game. It's cool, and people already know what Destiny is, and it's not this bullshit. This type of stupidity is the reason why there's so many people out there looking for glitches and exploits. And I guarantee this is going to start that back up. And I guarantee week one guarantee, if this stuff happens, there will be hundreds of people looking for glitches and exploits on a way to get a classified gear set, how to dupe through missions just to get those tokens and get hundreds of tokens every week. Yeah, a couple hours a day for a couple weeks. And if you don't get at least 2 pieces, yeah, you're going to go back to farming farming Sim 17. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And apparently it is, and this shit has to stop because, you know, this cheating, if that's what you want to call it, the exploits and the glitches, cheating, you know, to keep up with people who are lucky. I mean, I had this huge conversation with Matt Shacha, and the only thing that he wanted to say is that no, his opinion was the only one that mattered. The company is right. This is what they're going to do, and this is what they're going to stick by. And you know, I stick by my suggestion because I don't think that the generosity of the pieces needs to drop. And right, people are already looking for exploits, and guess what? They're not going to report them. They're not going to report them on the PTS. And I know a guy back a couple PTSs ago who found like 5 or 6 exploits, and he held on to them until after it was released because he knew that this kind of crap would happen. And that's not the way we should be playing. We shouldn't be looking for exploits and glitches and stuff like that. We should be able to play the game normally. And I stick by my suggestion 100% because honestly, the piss ants at Massive know 100% how long it's going to take people to get these classified gear sets. They're the ones who put out the percentage. And yes, I agree that yes, there's that one guy who is going to get a classified gear set within the first 2 drops. That's not going to be the norm. That's not going to be a norm. That's going to be the luckiest guy in the world. And who knows, his next 200 caches could have 0. Zip zilch, 0. And honestly, that's just the way it's gonna be. What up, Clam? How you doing, buddy? And I personally think that it would be a huge 100% win to bring back the days when people would grind out the type of thing. What's up, Haas? How you doing? Remember when we would grind out like to get a blueprint from the Dark Zone, like the M1A or something like that? People went out, they grinded out levels. They grinded out fucking levels for fucking hours. It was amazing. And part of my language, this isn't really kid friendly, but it was amazing. People grinded that stuff. And yeah, there were people that glitched it. Guilty. I glitched like the last 5 levels because it was like I had hours left, but still, it was like people went out of their way when the M1A blueprint dropped inside the Dark Zone DZ2 vendor. People went out of the way to get that shit. And if it's available, that is what people are going to do. If you put three, that's all I'm saying. Put 3 pieces of classified gear inside of a vendor and then put a classified gear cache. Make that cache, yes, make that cache, whatever it is, the 0.01. That way, if you bought the 3 pieces or whatever, and make it random, who cares what it is, 3 pieces, and then make a cache at the bottom that gives like those type of stuff. Like, that's fine, but make it so that you're grinding towards something meaningful. Make it so that my money that I choose to spend it on a Lone Star piece this week and not getting ripped off on a cache. Like, make it so that I have a choice. Make it so that I can go ahead and have a choice as to what I want to do. I should not be stuck with buying caches over and over again. And what kind of fucking vendor? That guy's a ripoff. Like, that guy's worse than Xur from Destiny. Like that is the type of crap. And Xur was more generous with the exotics and stuff they dropped out. Like, I don't understand what is going on here. Why I have to fight for this. Why, and I just typed to Matt on Twitter and I said, now that Marco has said something, are you going to do something about it? Now that somebody that has some real influence in the game is speaking out about it, is that what's going to happen? Is there going to be a change now that Marco is going to, and all we need is skill up, please watch this video. Make a video about how disappointing this shit is, and get it so that the people that Massive listens to, the Massive, you know, the people who Massive goes around and just like Massive's dipping the balls in those people. Like, we need people like Skilla, Marco, and those people to make videos saying that this is bullshit. That is, you know, my making a video doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to anybody except for you guys, and I love you guys for it. But if Marco and Breezy and Eric's and Skill Up and those guys from Bravo and Charlie and Alpha and all those people start making videos calling this shit out, somebody's gonna eventually do something. You know, that's just what it is. And it's not, you're right, Sean, it's not going to bring people back. It's definitely not bringing people back. Because even I'm considering not continuing on with the division, because I'm not spending 100 hours. Like, I went through, if you're a solo player, you are fucking screwed. Do not play 1.7 solo. I can guarantee you will have a bad time. Like, I played it, it takes forever. It takes forever to play solo. It just does, and it is ridiculous. Like, sorry, I'm super sunburned. I've been out in the sun all day. It is blazing hot here. I guarantee. Like, I don't even guarantee. It's just hot. It's raining outside and it's 90 degrees, and it's like, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. I've done a couple of these videos already, but yeah, you're going to have a bad time. Yes, it is a South Park meme, but you know, I'm just trying to get it out there that this is something that needs to be called out. I mean, make the item for the sale in the store. I mean, 3 items. Just put 3 items in the store each week. And those of us who aren't willing to grind out 1,000 hours like these grinders can pick from the 3 items if we can only get enough money for 2. And like I said, make them 100,000 tokens. It's going to take a shit ton of time to get those tokens, and it's not going to matter. Make it so that if somebody grinds enough and they want those 3 pieces, that's all I'm asking, 3 pieces. If they want the 3 pieces, then they can buy those 3 pieces, or they can gamble away. They can piss away their hard-earned money for 650 tokens. Like, what would you do? Would you buy a cache for 650 tokens, or would you buy a guaranteed piece at 50,000, 55,000? What would you rather do? You have 55,000 tokens in your current bank, and you could spend it on caches and get a ton of caches, but not get anything. Or you can buy a Lone Star set, classified set, for 55,000. What would you rather spend your money on? The guaranteed classified or opening up 20 however many caches it is, 10 caches or whatever it is for that money. Like, I guarantee you, I'm going to be spending my money on the stuff that really makes the difference. Like, that is what it is. You're gonna buy, especially if it's the last piece you need. I guarantee nobody is going to have 6 pieces unless they are super lucky. 6 pieces of one gear set. And believe me, when people get one gear set and they have 6 pieces of it, it doesn't matter whether it's reclaimer or it could be like something that makes it so that you're wearing 6 pieces and the dogs that shit are explosive. Like, people are going to wear that because it has 6 pieces on it. So when a dog shit, it explodes. And that's it. That's what it is. Like, it's... So, I mean, it really matters to people what they spend their money on. I guarantee it. And Matt fought me on this the other day. And Matt is not a bad guy. Matt is an awesome CM. And, and he really does a good job at doing community management. But this is something he needs to go to bat for. And, I mean... Right, one person's going to get lucky and he's going to be OP and he's just going to run around the dark zone dicking everybody. That's the way it goes. That's what it is. Yeah, Sean, 3 for sale with a 6 set, it would still take a huge amount of time to get that stuff. And they do it with everything else. Like, I don't understand. Like, and I guarantee, like, I understand. I agree, Matt, that we shouldn't be giving away. We shouldn't be giving away. Thanks, Snake. We shouldn't be giving away the pieces. Yes, I understand that. That's why you have analytics people working for you. Massive has tons of analytics people. I'll share a secret with you about, I went and interviewed at Disney Mobile for a while back. And they hire Stanford graduates, rocket scientists. They hire Stanford graduates and rocket scientists to come work there. And now you're asking, why would a rocket scientist go and work at a place like Disney Mobile? That doesn't sound like some place that their dreams are aspiring to be. Because they are smarter than you. And smarter than myself, and because they understand the psychological elements that get you to buy stuff. Those are the type of people, and I don't understand why Massive doesn't have these people on their staff going, yeah, people aren't going to deal with this shit. This is just some loony shit that people aren't going to deal with, and that's the truth. I guarantee you. If you go look up game. Okay, I'm back. Apparently somebody was like, I don't like what this guy's talking about. This guy is like off his meds or something, but I have fought the Massive and they have re-enabled my streams. I'm totally joking. Of course, it could very well be that that is, but Matt just replied to me, and he will continue to help clarify the design team's intentions. Currently, the intentions is to keep them rare. Supplements to 256. Hey, what's up, Nightmare? How you doing, buddy? So I honestly don't know what is going on. Honestly, they need new designers at Massive then, because that is just the way it's going to be. It's not worth it to keep doing that. Yeah. Hold on. I got to reply to Brett. Like I'm sitting there on Twitter as well. So if you have tweets for me, you can tweet for me. I'll read your tweet online. But or if you have questions, feel free to tweet them to me, and I'll talk about them there. But in all honesty, I mean, this kind of stuff, it's just, Matt has no control here. I mean, yeah. Somebody's like, this guy's speaking too much logical sense. We can't have people who speak logical sense. And apparently, like, YouTube Live, maybe YouTube Live was, not liking the fact that I was talking about YouTube Live and being like, YouTube Live is bullshit because it won't let me rotate my camera. So who was it? Blue Labrador. Hey, what's up, buddy? You said there was a rookie mistake. Well, I can't do anything but the portrait mode. It won't let me do anything but that. And so I was a little bit angry. I wish that I could do anything but the portrait mode, but unfortunately I can't. So I honestly feel like my design is a little bit better than anything. Yes, all they're seeing is dollar signs being spent on new stuff, when in reality it is just pushing people further away. This could very well be the end. I mean, in all honesty, if it goes down like this, it could very well be the end of the division for the 60% of the people, 70% of the people that are doing this. Because I don't know too many people. There are people, yes. There are people who love the grind. There are people who love the grind. I love the grind. I will grind, but I will not grind for a lucky chance. It's like grinding on a slot machine. Why would you grind on a slot machine? Like, I'm not grinding on a slot machine for a chance at money. Like, yes, people will put that stuff in, but like I said in my last video, the lottery bullshit mentality that is going on in games right now, Rocket League is a huge one, and I absolutely hate it because I absolutely love the mentality, but of getting stuff. But at least I'm getting stuff. That's the thing. I'm getting something. You know. It is just, let's talk about the PTS for a minute, because I got something from one of my guys because he was upset about the PTS stuff. The PTS stuff, you guys deserve better than that. I seriously agree that you guys deserve better than that. And so what's up, Andrew? You got a shout out earlier, bud. I gave you a shout out. So I asked one of my subs to send me, because he asked me why I wasn't going to do a video about the PTS stuff, and it's because I'm in New York and I can't, and I didn't make it over to Manhattan today, dude. It is just absolutely crazy. I went out and had I was talking about your woes of how many runs was it, Andrew, that you took, that you went through to get the Barrett's chess piece? How many runs before you got the Barrett's chess piece, or did you actually get it? I think you got to have like an exotic cache or something. But I'm going to go ahead and read you this tweet really quick while Andrew figures out how many 3,000 runs. So figure out the math as to how often Andrew went and did Lexington. So 2 patches, yeah. I did go into the dark zone. Yeah, they were Massive was not happy at me absolutely just going off. But anyways, here's stuff. We'll move on to the next thing, because I don't know if I can say anything really more about the fact that this is definitely going to happen. But let's talk console PCS. Originally, when I talked to a lot of people when they first came out with PTS, a lot of people asked me, because of my background in game development, why it would be so hard to do console. And it is difficult to do a console PTS, honestly. Like the fact they came up with one is actually a testament. So you can't be too mad that they actually put a console PTS out there. But really, the way they went about doing it seemed a little deceptive. And I don't know if deceptive is the right word, but let me read you this, and I hope he doesn't get mad at me. But I think yes, they had trouble with the North American codes, and that is bad. But I don't think that there's enough. Honestly, they said 10,000 people per console. And so if that was the case, then maybe 40,000 people are playing Division right now, and they didn't want everybody on at one time. But honestly, 10,000 people on basically what it is that there's only like a couple servers that they're running, and that's why and that's really why they limited the number of people on the PTS, is because they're really just limiting the amount of servers they're dedicating to a console PTS, which is part of the problem. I mean, right now there's like maybe 150 people on the PC PTS, so 10,000 is insane. If you do want to get on a PTS, buy the PC version. It's yeah. 21 Kiloton has perfect enough for the weekly news update. He does a bang up job, and I'm hoping that me and him are gonna do a video here pretty soon together. So we're just trying to work out. It's hard. He's in England. I'm here, but we're gonna work it out, and we'll bring you probably the most amazing video you've ever seen. But let me go ahead and dive into a lot of what the issues were of the PTS. And so he wrote to me, and he wrote simple really, for what is wrong with the PTS. As you know, it was said 10,000 people per console for PTS. The people who would get access must have a valid Uplay Ubisoft account with current email, have been logged into the game within the past 30 days from announcement day, and at that point, the most active players shown by playtime would get an invite. And that is all in fine. I understand. Yeah, 21 is funny as shit. I understand the issues with the making it so that only that they need certain factors, because they don't want everybody just jumping on and playing. That's the problem with the PC. Everybody jumps on and they just play. They don't really test. I think in the last the week one, I wrote up 4 bugs. I wrote up 4 bugs for him and did that. Seen Infamous in a while. Is he still divisioning? Yeah, he's still divisioning. I don't know why he's not in here right now talking with you guys, but yeah, he's still divisioning. You can follow him on Twitter. You can see all his stuff. He's been actually putting out more videos than I have recently. So I understand the stipulation as to why they made certain criteria for the PTS, but what happened with that stuff is a little bit. So many of the people who were low playing playtime people got invited. Many high playing people didn't get invites, and there are people that played less than him actually got invites. And then the 10,000 was kind of misleading, because we all thought 10,000 per console, but they split it between Europe, US, Asia, and who other knows what it is. So it's 10,000 global players, not 10,000 people online. It's 10,000 global players, which, I mean, that's a pretty good number, but not everybody's going to play. So and it took around 24 hours for the EU Vites to go on. And then basically there's just no logic structure as to the who's who and why of who's getting them. So the questions about the number of high-profile people with invites and priority given to them denied on live stream. This guy asked Matt about, directly on the stream, and he said basically community managers had no input, which is true. Really, community managers have no input as to what's going on. It's really the producer of the game. They're the ones who choose like who's getting that stuff, and half the time it's random, because you can't go through and validate 10,000 players. So that's why the stipulation is really like they probably just figured out what it was and just did some name searches and stuff like that. But really the thing that got me, and if you saw my tweet about it, this guy saw it too, influencers giving away PTS invites on stream and Twitch like prizes. I told, my anger came from when I saw a guy streaming and he was giving out 5 PTS codes, which means he had to have gotten 5 from somewhere. And so who did he get 5 from? It just seems that he probably had 5 accounts. And for me, if I had an Xbox and a PlayStation, I would have gotten at least 2 codes there. And then all I needed was a couple more codes from a few friends who weren't going to use them. And boom. Next thing you know, because these weren't tied. These needed to be tied to gamer tags. That's really what it needed to be tied to. Gamer tags and Ubisoft accounts. And that's it. Like it should, if you didn't use it, you don't get it. Like right now, that's just, what it needs to be. Really giving out a code randomly with no consequence to who does it, because like if you didn't like get it, yes, that'd be great, because you could go ahead and get a code from one of these streams as a prize and go on there and test, because maybe you're the type of guy that really, really wants that code or something like that. But then there's the people who just want to play it just to see how it plays, and especially influencers like myself. Like I bought a copy of PC Division because I wanted to stay up to date and bring out the latest news as to what was going on the PTS and Division and all that stuff. I wanted to make sure I was staying up to date with that. And so I bought it and I got duped into it. I mean, that's what it is. When I have 5 copies, I have 5 5 copies of GTA 5. That's how much I try to do it. And so, I mean, you shouldn't need a certain amount of time claimed. As I said to Matt, I think that it should be based on your involvement in the forums and your reporting status first and foremost, because playtime is not an indicator as to whether or not you're looking for bugs. I mean, it's an indicator as to how much you like the game. That's really what it is. So let's go ahead and continue. So players being told it's in their spam folder or they haven't the right email, to put it bluntly, it's your fault, the player's fault. That's what up, Infamous. There he is. It's Infamous. He has shown up. One of the guys was just asking about you, dude. One of the guys in here said he hadn't seen you in a while. So I was like, dude, I'm like, there he is. There you go. Boom. I've made a love connection. There you go. So yeah, if you guys want me to post more Infamous videos, I can get back to posting more Infamous videos. I'll talk to Infamous about it and post more of his videos. But you know, at some point, you know, I felt like Infamous was growing at an exponential rate and didn't really need me to be posting his videos on my channel anymore. But you know, maybe it's time to start posting them and getting him back into the fold and get him some more players. So, but yeah, so basically, you know, it is the fault of the player is what a company will toe the line, because it's never their fault. That is what it is. So, yeah, so let's face it, everyone puts their shit on Twitter if they get picked. Yeah, everybody does that. You know, it's a bragging thing. People enjoy that stuff. 1 week delayed compared to PC. Yeah, that was really rough. When you announce that you're going to have a console PTS and then you have a PC PTS and you put out the PC PTS, you end up and you don't launch the console at the same time, you're going to end up with some skeptical people and some angry people, and especially since you didn't give everybody a shot. Like, they should have just had a sign up. Like, why not just have a sign up and link your account and make it tied to that and whatever. It is what it is. And so, you know, all in all, it's been a complete cluster. That I agree. You know, I haven't been around, so I didn't know, and I definitely didn't care about getting a console PTS invite. But I am a proponent of making sure that everybody. I don't understand why they just didn't let everybody who wanted to be in and just put a queue. Just put a queue there. People will wait, or they'll be angry that there's a queue. But in the end, you got to realize that that queue is basically making it so everybody who wants in can get in and check it out. So. And he said that, you know, he hopes that this was the intel that I wanted. But yes, it is the intel that I wanted, because I understand your guys' anger, because a lot of the times it's my angry, and I've been really angry this past couple of weeks. I mean, it really bothers me that they're trying to make you spend a whole lot of time. This is the same stuff. Remember back in 1.3 when gear was really hard to come by, and the only place to get it was the Dark Zone. This is that same thing. They're forcing you to do content to get the best stuff in the game. It's plain and simply, it's going back to 1.3. And somebody asked on my video, how is this going back to 1.3? Well, there it is. That is the. By the way, I'm Polish, and I went to this store right next to me, and I found this. Poland Springs. Like, I don't even know. I bought it just because I'm Polish and in that. So little side note. So it's taking us back to 1.3. And I just tweeted at Matt, and he said that he'll stand behind the design team. And that's fine, because he has no control over whether or not. But I fully expect him to go out and you know, say, hey, designers, the community really fucking hates this idea. It's a really shitty idea. You guys need to figure something out. Yeah, I've never seen it before, Nightmare. It's not on the West Coast. It must be an East Coast thing. So, but it's not bad. I mean, it's water. And I don't normally drink water during when I'm doing videos or anything like that. So I have to go back and edit this stuff, because halfway through the video I'm like, because it ends up talking too much. But yeah, so there's a lot of things going on with the Division, and I'm hoping that eventually they're going to see the light, because it's really, and that's really where Marco comes in and where Skill Up comes in and these other guys who are, I consider them I don't consider myself an influencer, and you guys might consider that because of the influence I have on you guys, but the people who really influence things are people that have a broader reach, and Marco and Like Butter and maybe not Like Butter. I don't know. I don't know how much influence Like Butter has on the division anymore. But basically, if Skill Up made a video saying this, like 90% of the community would get behind it, and that's really what it comes down to. There needs to be more outrage by people who are influencers within the community, not just myself, not just Infamous. We both made our videos, and we've both made it perfectly clear what our stance is on the bullshit that's going on. And when I get home, I'm gonna shave because this is getting crazy. Like I can see why Nightmare was giving me shit about my beard when I was playing last. So if you haven't seen my photos and stuff when I'm doing Elvis, this is like I can cosplay almost anything, but people when I tell them that I do a cosplay, they think Wolverine. They think that I can do a Wolverine because of this beard. Like my sideburns go up here, and I don't know how this ended up getting off of the topic of that. But yeah, I'm trying to look like Infamous. That's what it is. I need to go mow my lawn is if I'm gonna look like you. But yeah, and my hair, like I can get it to do the whole Wolverine thing, but really it's just I do the Elvis thing. So if you haven't seen pictures of me doing that, that is yes, you do give people shit aplenty. But yeah, so I mean that tube. Oh, I gotta wear tube top like Infamous. That is a crack up. But yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know, go to Marco's thread. I mean, he is spot on. I don't think the generosity needs to be there with the classified gear. I think it needs to be I think there needs to be like a sale each week, and because you need to be able to. So part of my reasoning for this, because not everybody's going to want the Lone Star gear set or something like that. You're going to want to save up for whatever gear set is that you're saving up. And if they're doing 3 a week, that's perfectly fine, because if I don't see anything I want, I have the cash that I could get, or I can wait till next week and save up my tokens to the next week. And that would be perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with saving up your tokens and buying something the next week. Like, they're trying to prey on you to get you to play the game over and over and over and over again and bust your balls on this game, when that's not what we want to do anymore. You know, I don't even think that classified gear should be RNG based. It should have a set like gear score, and that's why I said before it should cap out at 1272. There should not have been an increase. I disagree with that, but now that there's nothing I can do about it. But it should have just capped out at whatever the stats were. There shouldn't be any recalibrating it, except for recalibrating whatever the thing you want. Say you didn't get like the perfect roll or something, so it's electronics and you want stamina, and you could recalibrate it for an increased cost and move it over. But it should have maxed out at whatever the 256 gear score pieces maxed out at. That way, this wouldn't even be an option if that was the case. Like, this wouldn't even be a conversation we'd be having if they did that. But no, they chose to increase it and make the gear better than everybody else's. And I thought that was wrong on their part. I mean, people would have grinded it out for a min-max gear score like piece. Like it wouldn't be controversial. It wouldn't be a gear change or a gear score change or anything like that. But they chose to increase the gear score. And instead of because people were upset that they were going to increase the gear score, they were like, no fucking way am I going to grind out another set. And honestly, if they increased the gear score, I'd be more happy grinding out for new gear increases than I would be for classified pieces. I mean, so they now have these classified pieces. Well, where's there to go? This is it. This is it. This is basically them saying that they're no longer going to be increasing the gear score. because if they did, people would just be angry that they spent all this time getting classified gear sets. So take my word for this. This is the end. This is the last increase that we will see, because people, if they leave it the way it is, people will go ape shit if they increase the gear score. I guarantee it. I would lose my fucking mind if they increased the gear score in 1.8 after they created classified gear and made me bust my ass to get classified gear. I mean, hey, what's up, Adam? How's it going? New to the chat. I'm just curious what you would have done if there was a change of a charge of adding new content or fixes. Dude, if they added new content, that would be game over. People would play that. Like, people would play new content. I don't understand why they can't add new content. As a former game developer, and I've worked on a lot of games, mostly kids games, a lot of kids games, but it is not hard to create downloadable content. Look at The Witcher. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Let's go ahead and use that as the example. Sure, that's not multiplayer, but they added another, basically a whole game. And even Final Fantasy, what was it, 15, the current one that just came out, they added a whole game. Like, it's basically a whole game that they added on to the end of that. Like, even another incursion. Yes, another incursion would have made something. But the problem is they really don't have the people. They don't have the people that did that. Yeah, and that's true, Andrew. It's Ubisoft not wanting to go into their coffers and make up stuff. Like, it's just not, they're not interested in putting in more money in the game, because what happened, this is what happened. And I'll tell you something, with my conversation with Matt the other day, I was throwing out numbers, and he said that those numbers would be bullshit. And he didn't believe my numbers. So basically what I was saying is that 4.6% of the people are still playing the Division from the numbers that I am. And he's like, oh, you're just pulling that number out of my ass. No, I'm not pulling that number out of my ass. I'm basically going off of the Steam charts. And yeah, the Steam charts aren't a representative force of the people currently playing or the people playing on console. But it's a small piece. Why do you think they survey 100 people when they do a survey? It's because they want to get a sampling. And the Steam chart is a sample size of the entire community, whether or not, so if, say, 65,000 people were playing on PC when it launched, which 65,000 people played the Division at launch. First month, 65,000 people. That's how many people were playing at launch, at the peak of the Division. And that's a lot of people. And when you factor into a sampling size, that factors into 300,000 people on console. I mean, that is an insane amount, especially when they announce the numbers. I mean, their launch day numbers, if you break it down to just say they made $60 million on the launch day, and you break it down $50 a piece or $60 a piece, you figure out how many people bought the game. And so you go to the Steam charts and you look up right now, 65,000 people playing on day one. And right now, roughly 3,000 to 3,500 people are playing. That is 4.6% of 65,000. I'm not pulling the numbers out of my ass, but it is a real representative number, a sampling, if you will, of how many people are currently playing the Division. You can't tell me there are 500,000 people playing the Division on console. It's bullshit. You're not going to shine me on with that. The numbers are probably closer to 30,000, I would suggest. If 3,000 people are playing on PC, 30,000 people are roughly playing on right now on the console. So that's honestly, I'm not pulling these numbers out, but I'm not they're not estimated. It's approximate. It's an approximate number. Yeah, I mean, the Avatar game, it could be, you never know. Aviator, that's funny. Yeah, you're spelling nightmare. But in all honesty, I'm not making numbers up. I'm looking at the stuff. I'm using it as a sample size and giving you a rough number estimate as to how many people are still playing. And it's roughly 4.6%. And that is a huge number. That's a huge drop. And it's basically what happens to mobile games. And as somebody who has put out a shit ton of mobile games, The factual number is within the first 3 days, 3 days, people give mobile games a 3-day head start. You lose 70% of your consumer. Guaranteed. That is a study that was done. 70% of people drop off within the first 3 days. And that, dude, that is a huge number. And yeah, a lot of new players in Asia, 130 gaming friends, only 3 to 5 online. Yeah. Even if taking, like, I can look at the number of players that were on my friends list on day one when I started. And I had like 60 people on my friends list playing out of like 150. 60 people were playing. That's 50% of my friends list were playing the Division and played it through to completion. I now have at any one point maybe 1 to 2 people playing at any given time, and I'm not counting Infamous, and I'm not counting other people who are playing, because they're the only people that jump on online, and I have to beg people to come play, but. The people that played at the very start, and honestly, the people that played at the very start is like one person maybe still plays, and that would be me. I've been playing since day one. So 4.6%, it's not a far cry from what the numbers are for real. Like 4.6% of people are playing. I mean, you go look at the Division Red. There are tons of numbers, and numbers don't lie. You can go look at the Division Red. Look how many people were originally subbed to the Division Reddit, and look how many people are actually there now. And so, I mean, Wildlands, that was okay. It wasn't like they really, needed something different. It felt very flimsy. I mean, for a game in 5 years of development, it definitely should have been a lot better. I mean, look at what Take-Two did with GTA 5, and yeah, sure, GTA 5 was built upon different iterations of it. But at the end of the day, if you spend 5 years on a game or 6 years on a game, I expect a GTA 5 style game, or at least the quality of it. I worked on a game. It was called Legend of Excalibur for the PlayStation 2. You can go look that up and see how terrible that game was. I only did QA on it. I wasn't involved in it. But I guarantee they spent $12 million. Midway spent $12 million on that game, and like 6 years in development. And it was absolutely, and what their purpose of that was to... on Reddit, because I asked what about anti-cheat and chicken dance happened last week. Okay. But they spent that money on this game, and $12 million, 5 years, and they wanted to make a Diablo clone. They were Diablo 2 was really big at the time, and so they wanted to. It's literally a top-down isometric view game, and so they wanted to make a game very similar to that in the realm of Legend of Excalibur. And what happened is it turned into the biggest pile of shit in gaming history. Maybe not the biggest, but it was definitely one of the worst games that I've ever been attached to. And I did some voiceover work for it and stuff like that. But go look it up and see. Go play it. I mean, it wasn't a terrible game, but it was absolutely terrible. Like, I had to sit there. If you guys want proof on game testing, go play that game and imagine playing it 8 hours a day for 4 years. 4 years. That's a Legend of Excalibur. It was by Midway Home Entertainment. So go look at that. And then if you really want to look up the game that I did an actual character voice on, that would be Freaky Flyers. And I loved Midway. I don't understand how Ubisoft is still in business. I mean, yeah, they have a couple really great games, but Midway had so many better games. I mean, NFL Hits. They went through. I think Anthem. Do I think Anthem will be a competitor? That is a hard question. I think it's going to be more of a Destiny competitor, but I do think that that they do. Yeah, there you go, Andrew. Baron von Slaughter. I do think that it's going to be one of those games that pulls people away from this. I think Destiny 2 is going to pull people away from this. I mean, if people are still playing this game when Anthem is released, well, hallelujah to you. Because if you're still playing this game when Anthem is released, nothing's pulling you away from it. You're going to be turning off the lights and closing the door. You're going to be the last one out. If you're still playing this in 2018. Why am I not enjoying the city nightlife? Oh, Breezes, it's because you didn't tell me where to meet up with you. I was gonna actually go. I had to. We did a party with some of the drivers from the Formula E and stuff like that. So I'm absolutely I've been working in 100-degree heat. It's raining outside. I have like tons of excuses. I'm over in Brooklyn, whatever it is. There's a lot of reasons why I'm not out enjoying the nightlife. And then really what it is, I was in the back of the Uber and I got Marco Styles' message. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And it wasn't Marco's that made me mad. It was it was hot AF today, dude. Oh my gosh. And imagine sitting out there working, there's no shade, and you're just out in the sun just baking. It was absolutely terrible. But anyways, back to this. So I got Marco's tweet and I'm sitting there reading through it. And I'm reading through all of the responses to it and seeing all of the people who are like, dude, this is absolutely the worst thing. And if Marco Styles is tweeting about it, it's got to be true now. Like, who cares if Mounty's tweeting about it? Like, Marco is on board with it. And I mean, even like me and Skill Up had words the other day because Skill Up was like, they need to be handing it out like regular gear. And in all honesty, I disagree with it, but I don't disagree now. I mean, I don't think they should hand it out, but I think there should be a way to guarantee. And that's the reason why I wasn't totally against this, is because I thought they were going to be giving classified gear after completing certain tasks and stuff. Like, I thought that's what it was going to be. Like, after you completed like 6 levels, they were going to give you a classified piece or something to that effect. Like, I didn't realize when I first did it because we didn't know. We didn't know until the PTS happened. And that's probably a reason why the console PTS didn't happen, because they didn't want everybody to figure it out. But it's ridiculous that we figured it out, and that it took this long to do that, and there's not more outrage. Like, I don't understand why there's not more outrage around this. It is absolutely one of those things that's ridiculous. Do you realize, Andrew, that the SOCOM franchise is still out there? They just rebranded it under another name, and I can't remember what it was. Let me look it up really quick. But it's still there. Like, it's not. They rebranded it under something, and I just saw. I think it was Sniper Elite, but no, it's not Sniper Elite. It is Sniper Ghost Warrior or something like that. But they rebranded it because the SOCOM games early on were so garbage. The battery mount of the UN building is Trump Tower. You can actually walk up to Trump Tower. It's in the game. Yeah, there's still people playing Battlefield 2. But Trump Tower is in the game but it's not. You can't. The name's not in the game. It's just what is it? It is like, look up the address and you'll find it that it's like smack dab in the middle of Manhattan or something. I saw a guy who did a video on it, and I was like, oh, I've walked by that building like 100 times and did that. So I definitely think that there's a lot of cool stuff in there. Hopefully I will get down to Manhattan tomorrow and figure it out. And if anybody wants to meet me down there, if you guys are in New York City, I'll be happy to meet up with you, and we can sit there and bullshit about the division and talk shit about Massive and all that stuff. Because it's honestly, there's a lot to talk about. But I'm hoping that with all of this backlash, the designers are going to see exactly what they did. Because with this type of mentality, it wouldn't be until late in the evening tomorrow, Breezes, because I work until, like, I have a thing until 2, and then I might be able to get off around 2 if I have everything done and completely. They didn't learn from 1.3. Like, they learned, and the numbers for 1.3. I mean, that's the thing I don't understand. The numbers for 1.3 are abysmal. Like, they were so bad. Like, I mean, and so I don't understand why they have decided to go back to this type of mentality. And I mean, I'm even looking at the division right now, the Steam charts for the last 30 days, 677 players for the last, 3,817 players. It's actually evened out for quite a while, but at the height of 1.3, 1,972 players. That's at the height, right before 1.4 dropped. And when 1.4 dropped in whenever it was, people came back. People came back because they saw that Massive was making great strides. I mean, October, November, December, huge month gains. I mean, September, 1,972 people. October, 3,194 people. November, 6,750 people. December, 14,027. And that's average. Those are average numbers. They're not the total number of people. Those are average numbers. The peak players during December, 38,000. I mean, dude, it is like, oh, I hope they bring back Siphon Filter. I actually was looking at the company that developed that. They came out with another game, and I was like, oh, the company that developed Siphon Filter, that's so cool. But yeah, I mean, they're not looking at the thing, because look, it's September 2017 or 2016. The peak players were 3,434. The average player was 1,972. I mean, that is a huge drop. I mean, compared to March, when the peak number of players was 113,000 on PC. I mean, it's insane that 113,000 players were at launch, and of those 113,000 players on PC, 8,000 people were peaked in the last 30 days. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense as to how they think that they're progressing in the correct direction. If they looked at the Steam chart, they would see exactly what it is. And let me see if I can show you what the Steam chart is really quick, because I mean, the numbers don't lie. Oh shit! I don't know. Oh, that's okay. So these are the Steam chart numbers, and so here's September of 2016 right here. This is the September number, and there's the average player online during that month was 1,972. 3,434. And this is where they course corrected, because they put out 1.4 and the numbers started going up. And somewhere around this point here is when things went to shit and started going downhill really fast. It went 14, 10, 5, 6, 3, 4, 3, 3. And if you look over here, you see the same thing, 38, 23, 11, 13, 9, 18, 6, 8. You can't tell me that these numbers aren't, a sample size of what's going on, because even the peak player is a sample size of what the average player is for those times. So I don't understand where they're going wrong when they can see, and they have these analytics, they have the console analytics and stuff, and so they obviously can see where they went wrong and where they went right. And what they need to do is start investigating the October, November, December increase and what they were doing there. And piecemealing out gear was not what they were doing. And like I said, yeah, their viewers on Twitch are horrible. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So, so this has gone on for an hour, and I could probably talk with you guys for much longer. Maybe I set aside a week of time each week to go ahead and do this with you guys, because I think that I think it's valuable in making me. I mean, right now I can't upload videos or anything like that. I do think that they should have made a battle royale game out of the survival stuff. I think that that's something that people would have. I mean, people would come back for that. Oh, it is getting late here. It's like almost 9 o'clock, but yeah, it's definitely something that 1.4 had the first ETF members and major gameplay fix. That is correct. That's why I don't understand. Like, it's not like we don't love this game. Nobody here is here because they hate the Division. You guys are all here because you care about what happens to the Division. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't understand why Massive doesn't understand that. There's a community that cares about what happens. And the problem is we care about the game. The company that's making it doesn't give a shit about it. That's the problem. Like, why doesn't the company care about it unless they just want to kill it off? Like, they're like, we're done and we want to move on. They're going to make money off the Division too. Yeah. When you have a beard like this, it's really hard not to stroke the beard. So it is unique. It's why I play it. Like, when the Division came out, I was playing Destiny. And I love Destiny. It was a great game. But there was something about the Division that really hooked me. Like, there was a realism. It was very cerebral, like the theory crafting and stuff like that. It was unlike any other game. Like, the games these days don't do that. Like, that's gross. That's gross, Nightmare. Games, no other game out there right now is this like cerebral when it comes close to, theory crafting. I mean, there's so many build combinations and stuff. That's just, it's just what it is. And it's kept people playing around. So, I mean, I honestly think that they're doing a disservice. And I think that with classified gear sets, Ninja Bike Backpack, theory crafting. Classified gear sets, they're not throwing out the theory crafting. They're eliminating theory crafting with classified gear sets. With the Ninja Bike messenger bag, though, that is where they are. That is where things are going to go. So if we can all agree to never get classified gear sets, we should be in luck. Let's just all get Ninja Bike messenger bags and stuff like that. In all honesty, I'm surprised that they haven't gone to giving away the caches and selling keys for them like they're doing with the encrypted caches or whatever it is. But I mean, that's probably one of the better things that they're doing. Is encrypted caches. I like the idea. It's not forcing players to get premium content and buy that stuff. Endgame, bro, when there's no PvE endgame and no need to grind, what's the point? PvPers can say. Yeah, but the problem is that I need a reason to grind. I understand the endgame. Like, I'm not against making endgame content. The problem is the endgame content right now is lazy. Like, there's no reason to do any of the endgame content. Classified gear sets aren't endgame content. That's stuff that you need to do. So, yeah, I know, Brett. I've seen your Rocket League stuff, dude. I know how much money you've spent on that, and luckily you've got them from a cheap source. I mean, if you were buying them on eBay like a lot of people, you would have, you probably have a wife who you'd throw a shit fit, but. That is what it is. But anyways, I gotta get out here because I gotta go to bed. I'm dying, and I gotta get up at 8 o'clock and be back at the racetrack at 8 for early morning call. But I should be able to get out early and hopefully be back in time. Yeah, I know. But I gotta be back in time and hopefully go to Manhattan tomorrow so I can at least do that. So. I think that Far Cry 5 is, in all honesty, I was never a fan of For Honor. And what's funny, so I really gotta go. But anyways, let me talk about For Honor. So I made that video about For Honor. If you haven't seen it, it's absolutely hysterical. It's me just absolutely ranting about For Honor because I thought, like, when it first came out that it was the shittiest game, and I was so upset about it. Like, it was just absolutely a game that I did not want to get behind because I saw it from the very beginning, like, absolutely how terrible it was. Like, the mechanic behind it, like, I thought the game, like, the idea was cool, but here's the thing that they went wrong. They stopped making it so that they added factions. Like, they had so much. So they have the samurai, they have the knights, and then they have the Vikings. And I don't understand why their DLC was not, like, they had so much. They could have added pirates. They could have added Romans. They could have added Spartans. They could have added any number of these things. But they cornered themselves into only doing three factions, and that was it. That's I don't understand. Like, why would you do that? Like, your whole DLC could be like moving into making more classes, and it's not like it would break the game. Like, you just make it so that it balances out. Like, but they figured out that they could only do like certain classes and certain factions and stuff, and they didn't want to write a story for all of them and stuff like that. But people probably would have done it. But the problem is that they I'm looking forward to Days Gone. That was one of my favorite games at E3, and it definitely looks better than The Last of Us, which is my other favorite zombie game that they came out. Well, not really a zombie game, but. Oh, that was the other thing. I almost went to the Conor McGregor like shit talk session because it's right down the street from where I'm at the Barclays Center. I was gonna go down there, but some jackass outside was selling tickets for like $100. They got them for free, you jackass. Like, I was gonna go to it. It started at 7 o'clock. I just happened to get out of the after party that I was in, and it ended at 7. And the Uber driver's like, dude, the Mayweather McGregor fight shit talk sessions like right down the street. It's starting in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I'll go. So he pulls up, and I'm like, how much are tickets? And the guy's like, $100, bro, $100. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll pass on that. But I heard it was really good. I am super stoked to be looking forward to this session, looking to that fight. I hope that Conor McGregor like kicks the shit out of Mayweather. I don't think it's gonna actually happen, and I put money on McGregor because of the how much money I would make because of it. But I don't think it's really gonna happen. But yeah, we'll do more of these general talks in next week and stuff like that. I'll set aside some time around the same time and do these talks with you, especially around when the PTS is going and stuff like that. And hopefully I can fix this shit, because this shit is just killing me. Like, having to have my phone in portrait mode, like YouTube, dude. Be better than that. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I've answered all your questions and we've had a good discussion. Honestly, go tweet Marco Style right now and be like, dude, you need to make a video about this. Mountie Carl is like, dude, you need to make a video because you're the only one that can save us. They're not listening to anybody but you. They're not listening to anybody but Skill Up. Haas, man, I'm going through like withdrawals from you guys. Like, I need to go home and game. Like, I'm like going through serious withdrawals. Like, I can't play PUBG. I can't do all of this stuff. I just want to go home and play some games. So yeah. He said that. Yeah. That's why I'm like, dude, we need Skill Up. Get Skill Up. Send him this video, dude. Skill Up. Honestly, bro. Dude, go make a video about this. That's the only way this is gonna get changed. We need to change the designer's mind. That's really, yeah, I'm gonna be doing when I get back, we'll do another Jackbox party night too. Piss on Skill Up. Hey, there are people out there, but we're all in this together. Like, we're all gonna have to deal with how shitty this is. And if one person can make the difference, that I'm gonna ride that person's coattails and hope they make the difference. So you could say that, but if he's gonna get them to change their mind, let him change their mind. Marco Styles, let him change their mind. Like Butter, let him change their mind. Eric's, let him change their mind. I would be happy for any of those people to get them to change their mind. I mean, I'm not changing their mind. Even 21 Kiloton, who is absolutely hysterical and agrees that this is all a cluster, like, he's not changing their mind. I mean, that dude has like views up the ass right now, like, for Division videos. And so, and he has people's ear. Like, so if he's not changing their mind, then there's definitely